My name is Joe Dalton, entrepreneur and business coach. Welcome to Breakthrough Brands. Each week we bring you an inspirational story and an insight to the minds of some of the top business leaders, authors and mentors from around the globe. Whatever is needed to make you shine in life and business, you'll find it here. Over the years, I've had the pleasure to interview hundreds of people on my business shows, Breakthrough Brands and Business Eye. In doing so, I've put together my top 10 tips that I've picked up from my guests along the way. To discover what these are and how they may benefit you in your business, please click on the link below or go to joedalton.ie/discover. Today I have a very good friend of mine, an amazing lady and someone that is inspiring so many people around Dublin, and I sure will be inspiring people around the country, and soon I say we'll have a global reach as well. Amanda Delaney, how are you?
Hi Joe, I'm great.
Good to have you on.
Thank you for asking me.
I think I asked you to come on the show probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
That's
and
right.
At that time I said, have you ever done radio before? And you said no. I said, well look, let's plan something. And by saying that power of intention, I don't know, how many shows have you been on since?
Oh, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 shows now since then.
You've been 4 and 5, and
Yeah.
I can see your image is changing and everything now. You've got the haircut, the new clothes and everything. So you're really starting to now step into the limelight.
So I believe, I was at a networking event this morning, and it's always nice when people come up to you at a networking event and they're recognising you from social media.
Yes, yeah. It's like someone said to me yesterday, says, oh Joe, I'm anywhere I go and I mention your name, people know you. I go, yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes when you're
Your
stepping
name
into...
perceives you.
Yes, it is. So you have to have good values then if you're driving through on them. I'm interested in your journey. I came across yourself and I spoke at one of your events probably at the beginning of this year, and I heard your name maybe once or twice the month before then, and I've been following your career. And let's jump back to maybe about 10 years ago or whatever. What were you doing then?
10 years ago, I had my own beauty salon.
Your beauty salon,
Yeah.
okay.
So
okay.
I was running the salon, and I also had a school, so I was teaching. Teaching was my passion.
Okay. And it's funny how you're evolving and you're starting to, we all in business start off doing one thing,
Yep.
and then we sort of evolve into where we are and where we're comfortable with. And we can be comfortable, and on that stage as well, we have this fear of going, oh my God, will people realise who I am, or am I an imposter? Or Jesus Christ,
Oh,
people
yeah.
will think. We can go through that. And I
Yes.
call that the hero's journey.
Yeah.
As Joseph Campbell says, follow your bliss. And that's what I think people should follow. 18, 19 years of age, you were probably just working. Did you have dreams of being an entrepreneur all your life, or did it just the way things happened? Tell me your story.
Joe, at 19 years of age, I found myself to be a mummy at 19 years of age. I'd left school at 14, very naive, as in I thought I knew it all. Wanted to go out and get a job. Settled into a job, good job, paid great money in a factory, and I worked really hard. It was a real physical job. And as I said, the money was great, but when you're a child with that much money, it can be dangerous. Yeah, so it was. So rocky couple of years, too much alcohol, too much partying from a very young age. Found myself then pregnant at 19. So there was no plans of entrepreneurship at all.
It's a survival.
Exactly. Now I did realise then when he was born that something would have to give. He was about 1, and I said there has to be more than this. So I'd gone back and learned, I went into the FOSS course to do fitness, which on paper was absolutely ridiculous. It made no sense at all. I never went to the gym. I was not fit. I was overweight, too much drinking, too much all of that. And it was just seemed impossible. But that, I think, was a turning point for me, as in when I was ready to give up, about 7 months into that course, and I was doing well, the childminder said, I can't mind your son anymore. It's just circumstances changed. And I said, oh, Jugger, what am I going to do now? And my back was to the wall. So I went in and I said to the guy, I said, look, I can't come back. I've nobody to mind my son. And he said, I don't care what you have to do. Tie him up. Do whatever you have to. I'll see you here on Monday morning. I'm not taking your letter of resignation. You're not quitting. And it was the best thing ever. I did what I had to do, which was leave him for a week to get this finished.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because at that time, it was the worst thing that was happening in your life, and you were going, "Holy, what am I doing here?"
Yeah.
But looking back now, you're kind of going, "God, I'm glad that happened."
That course taught me the power of communication and of teaching and helping people to overcome stuff that was life changing. Now, I didn't realise that at young 20s that that's what it was doing. But I spent many years in that industry going, I'm loyal. So I was in gyms for like 4 and 5 years. But I loved the fact that I could change someone's life. And the more I spent doing that, the more satisfaction it gave me. However, the politics in that industry really just wore me down.
As you know, I had a fitness studio as well, and I always realised it was a community building, and it wasn't, people were coming in to, either lose weight or tone up or get fit, but it was more than that. There's getting away from their family. Maybe there was probably people there that were stressed out at home, and this was their escape, their place. So I think fitness, you can have the big gyms, and it's just there, it's the machines and going in. But then when you get personal training and group training, there's more to it than just
Big
losing
time.
weight. There's a community, and it's more mental than physical as well.
Well, that was the part I loved. I loved the women. I loved helping them. I loved, doing all that. But when you're part of a big gym,
No.
you have the rules and the regulations, and certain things happened. Anyway, let's put it this way. An opportunity came for me to enter the beauty world.
Yeah,
And I was 30 at that stage.
So you were doing the training and you were in the fitness for
Yeah.
up to 10 years.
Yeah.
And then an opportunity knocked on your door.
Yep,
And you
completely
kinda
landed on my lap.
Serendipity.
Yeah, I said, I can always go back.
Yeah.
Sure,
yeah.
flip it, I'll take this. And it was
Yeah.
to manage a beauty salon. And she said, I'll pay for all your courses and all of this. And I was always painting someone's nails in the locker room or rubbing tan on them.
were
Or,
doing
I always loved that.
Yeah.
I said, flip it. So I jumped. I always say yes. Took me about 3 weeks to think, because I was on good money, doing a lot of personal training. My big thing was swimming lessons. So, I was on good money, and I said, sure, flip it. And I took an opportunity, and I grabbed it. Loved the industry, missed the teaching.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
missed it. It didn't have the same impact for me just to do services all day on people. I was missing something.
Because in beauty as well, there is a communication, there's
Of
service on it
course.
as well. But there was something.
Your
that-
nails, they need to be done every 3 weeks. It's not going to change your life whether your nails get done or not.
Yeah, but there's more to communication.
So what happened then was I started to do some nails at home, as most beauticians do. A few bob on the side. Babies were starting to be born all over the place, so I started to do a little bit at home. And then I got an opportunity to become an educator in the beauty world. Now that was the hardest course. I strolled up to there thinking, I'm great at nails, this will be great. I went in there, didn't even know the lingo. These girls were like amazing.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, it was rattling stuff. It was really outside the comfort zone. Now, I knew nothing about comfort zones or personal development or anything back then. But I stuck it out, as I do. I put myself all in or all out. I was all in, and I became an educator. And that's when I opened up my own salon. Because obviously then, this is where the business side came in. All of a sudden, you can't teach nails without a business name. Having to register as a business and all of this stuff. So bit by bit, I Googled this and I found out that, but I was alone.
Yeah, it's a lonely journey.
Most industries, people aren't saying, oh, let me help you set up. I knew nothing about entrepreneurship or business or anything. This was just me setting up a little salon out the back.
It's interesting. A lot of people think setting up a business is building a website, and there you go. I've got my business. There's more to it at the end of it. From that journey, so 20 into the beauty and then opening up your own business. Do you think you sort of were falling into entrepreneurship, or was there this drive that was sort of hitting you in the back of the head going, this is your journey?
That's a good question. I would say no. I just kind of kept stepping and kept going with what was happening in front of me. But about 5 years ago, I look back, and when I was in the gym, my husband was a member of that gym. And when we were saving for a house, and most people will get this, when you're saving for a house, you're working around the clock. And Ian was working morning, noon and night doing the nixers, doing the extra bit, doing whatever it took. And he was flying. And I kept saying to him, will you not go out and work for yourself? Oh, Ian, come on, look at all the money you'd make. And he kept saying, oh, I like getting me wages. But I kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. But he was adamant it wasn't for him. So maybe secretly somewhere deep down it was a desire of mine. But I didn't see that for many years to come.
Entrepreneurship isn't for everyone.
No.
Because some people need stability. And when you're setting up a business or running a business for the first couple of years, there's no stability.
There isn't.
Stability is going in 9 to 5, working, getting paid, and that's it. Peace of mind and grand.
Yeah.
People can't. So a lot of people can't handle that. And I always say that if entrepreneurship was easy,
Everybody do it.
everybody would be self-employed.
Yeah.
You're going through your journey. You set up the business, you pushed him, he didn't want to go, you went, right, this is where I'm driving through. What happened after then, the beauty salon?
Well, what happened? It wasn't even after the beauty salon.
Or during?
Yeah, it was during that time. I went back to college to learn other skills, and I was looking for a product range that I could use within the salon. That was it. I wanted skincare. I didn't know whether I wanted to do facials. Didn't know whether my clientele would want facials, but I had to have a product there. So I came across a company called Forever Living, a network marketing company, and all I really wanted was just to use those products. But fast forward a couple of months after being using the products, and I gave birth to my fourth child and all of that, and college was finished, and I saw a way that I could earn money part-time. I wasn't sure what I quite saw that day, but I just saw €2,500, a load of circles that meant nothing to me, and a lady who mirrored my energy. She was vibrant, she was trendy, even though she was a lot older than me. She was driving a Mercedes, and all the buzz just caught me. And I said, right, okay, I don't know what I have to do, but I'd like to do this. And she asked me that day, did I know anybody that could do an extra income? And I said, I laughed. I said, everybody. Really innocently. I had no clue what network marketing was. All I knew was these products, I've been using them for a couple of months. They were good. And whatever she was saying, I liked her vibe. I liked her energy. Sure, we'll give this a go. Little did I know that this would consume me with passion and drive my energy even more, because then I realised I could help people to earn an extra income, help people with the benefits of the products. And I ran and I threw myself at it. Still working the salon, 4 kids, and every spare minute I had, I was recruiting and helping people to set up their businesses. You know, really clueless, just on excitement for the first probably 6-8 months. But I soon settled down and learned my trade and started to study business and personal development, and everything from then is where I am now.
There's mixed views about MLL marketing, multi-leveling. And I was speaking to someone, and they said to me, says, I'd never get into MLL, not Ever Living, but different products. And he said he ended up working 50 hours a week, and he calculated the amount of time that he was, and it was €2 an hour that he was earning. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God. I don't believe in it myself. The reason why I don't believe in it is because it's just not my gig. Yeah. Do you know that way? It's not mine. And I have other friends that do it in other products and love it. Yeah. Love it. And are happy to do it, and everyone is involved in it. For me, it's if anyone says to me, Joe, can you help me to market this MLL business? I can have a look, but it's not my gig.
It's not your thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Well, you know, for me, it's been like going to a business university, because. And this is what I love about network marketing. It gives everybody the opportunity. If that hadn't come along, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, oh no, yeah. Do you know? There's different benefits. And I do get it. It isn't for everybody. And that's fine. Not everybody wants to wax legs for a living. Or, you know what I mean? But yeah. But for me, and as I said, it's not for everybody. It taught me so much.
I think where my mindset is, I remember Tupperware parties.
Yeah,
do you remember it?
Yeah.
Right, God. And for people that don't know what Tupperware parties were, that was people call around your house and sell lunch boxes, and they'd have a Tupperware. That was it. But it was
a great
also
product. I still have that in my house.
Yeah. And I know people that are in your industry as well, and they're doing well. You've been on stage, you've been across the States and everything. It taught me on my public
speaking. I started to MC at big conventions in the Dublin Convention Centre and lots of hotels. So it opened a lot of doors. It opened my mind to different ways. And still, come here, I was on stage last week with my company, and I just love it. And then my team were on the stage. I'm just so much energy for all that, just for celebrating wins and encouraging everybody. And, come here, Joe. You need a whole show just for me talking about Forever Living and my network marketing business.
You have your own show here now. but here it is, okay? So I want to jump from Ever Living, okay? And in that, you then started to network with other people as well, and you created We Can and We Will, but also you also have little team of people, not a team, but other people that you meet once a week, business owners, and you all discuss. How did that all come about?
Well, that's how We Can and We Will started. We Can and We Will was just an idea to meet up with a couple of people. I had no name then. I just said, let's get a few people together and I'll invite a few people. So I created a Facebook event. I think there was 12, 13 people maybe. And we met up, we had a bit of lunch and we did a bit of networking. Now, I wasn't one for going to networking meetings. I didn't even know what these were. I just decided to set up my own. From there, we did it every 2 weeks. We ran these groups every 2 weeks and people came. But what I noticed after a couple of months was it was the same people, core people, that were there every 2 weeks. And then some other people would just arrive if they had an event or, and that's fine. But it wasn't sitting with me. I just felt that the people that were there loyal to this every couple of weeks, that we could be more if we did it a different way.
You're seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah. I just thought, I'm not connecting with these as much as I could because now they come in and I have to give them time, but they're not going to be here next week. So in January of 2018, we decided, I offered it to a couple of them. I said, look, why don't we ourselves just meet every 2 weeks and not put it up and advertise it and all that. So I said, we'll test this out and see how it helps us to grow our business. So that's what we did. So this year we had 7 people. We meet every 2 weeks. We were physically meeting every 2 weeks up until 2 months ago. And things have changed again. But what it's meant... Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Amazing. Yeah, but what it's done for people is it's literally it's a safe place to come. When you're on your own in business, or whether you're the boss and you've got staff, it's very hard to have a rant or a rave or brainstorm, or if you come up with an idea and it's in your head. Sometimes when you're chatting with other people, the best idea is just following your mouth. So having a space like that every 2 weeks to chat, to get, because we all know each other's business inside. We understand each other's business. So we've had some great referrals. And there's been a lot of money made through those referrals. And we've also had a lot of friendships, and all of that comes with it. Your personal development, brainstorming, new creative ideas for your business. People have changed their business.
So you're doing that. And then you sort of says, right, let's get talking. Let's get people on stage. Let's
At one of those meetings, I said I'd like to get better at public speaking outside of Forever, because Forever for me now, it's not a comfort zone. Don't get me wrong, you don't get comfortable when you get up on the stage. You still have your nerves. But I'd started to discover other businesses and stuff like that, and I said I'd love to get better at this public speaking, really give it a go. And 5 out of 7 people said me too. I said, no, that's my brain, the cogs just started turning. And that exact night I went over to the Bank of Ireland in the Montrose for a networking meeting, What's What, with Alan and Barbara. And I saw the venue. Barbara had already mentioned to me the bank. And I went in, this is perfect. This is the perfect venue. That was 18 months ago. So we've ran that our group pioneered that. We were in my kitchen rehearsing our little talks. We pioneered it April 2017. And we had our grand finale for this year on Wednesday, and we'd packed house. What
you're doing is organically growing.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm spiritual, and I think you're spiritual yourself as well. I always believe that the best manifestations that we have come so left field that we don't expect it, because everything else is planned.
This is how We Can and We Will works. I have 4 speakers. They give 10 minutes each, and it leaves enough time for networking. Because for me, the audience, I'm always saying
networking is important.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have a public speaking event without an audience. There is no purpose to it. So I'm forever grateful for the people who turn up. And it's people drive from Galway, Drogheda, Limerick. And these are regular attenders at this. Like, they travel from everywhere. But I never take that for granted. I'm humbled and grateful that these people come and support the event. And I know they love it, but it doesn't make me any less humbled or grateful that they come that distance at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. I have trouble getting from Tala to there at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, and these people make it their business every 6 weeks to be there.
It's been humble, yes, isn't it? It is.
It is.
And keeping the ego away as well.
There is no ego at this event.
Yeah, I know that,
yeah.
and I'm talking about that. You could have gone away and had the ego, and if you had that sort of driving you through, it mightn't have been what it is.
It wouldn't be.
What do you see is your main piece of wisdom that you offer people that inspire them?
At the event or overall?
Overall.
Overall. I put this question out on Facebook actually a couple of weeks ago. So now, as a result of talking to me or whatever, and everybody's like inspiration, motivation. I think it's inclusion. People come around, they feel included. Included, empowered, inspired, and leave them with a mindset of that, you can do this, it's possible. I love to clear up people's, when they're stuck, just help them see a way.
Belief
in them. I believe in them, and I think it's important to believe in somebody well before they see it themselves, because usually we're the last to see it in ourselves.
We're last to see it in ourselves, yes. We don't believe in themselves and they'll be so far gone, you're not the one or I'm not the one to help them. But they have to have a spark.
Absolutely.
And in having that spark, it's a question that you'll ask people, how determined are you to do this? And if someone goes, I'm nearly there, they're not there. They need to be percentage, 50%, 60%, 70% upwards for them to move on it. You've sort of been helping people. What's the one element that revolves around like everything that you've done all your life? Like for me, it's helping people. That's what it's been. I know that when I talk to people, I inspire them and help them and give them the one thing that can help them grow.
It's to teach them the new skill or give them that belief. It's to move them forward, lift them up. Whatever it takes to move them on. I just love people. Knowing that you're there, you're a pillar for somebody. You're there to catch them, because we all fall. Even with the best of intentions, we'll take a step forward. Well, you need that support. You need someone keep rallying you and saying, go on. Keep reminding you, there's your vision, you're going this way.
But it's the learner's experience. Look, how did we meet? April, May?
Yeah,
April,
this
May,
year.
this year.
I feel like it's been a year ago.
Years, yeah. Thanks. In a good way.
In a good way, of course.
Okay, so I met you, and now here you are now. Your confidence is building.
I've spent a lot of months now since September. As we've explained, all those businesses that I went into, I fell into. 2019 is a planned year. It's the first time that I've had a strategy to get something moving, to make the most of my time and to help more people and to give people, and I said this on Wednesday as well, it's so important for me that when you leave anything to do with We Can and We Will, aka Amanda Delaney, that you leave with a sense that you've got value for your time, value for your money, and just value, tangible stuff that you can use.
But here it is as well. Life experience helps you be a better person, which in return helps you help other people.
Yeah.
We've had conversations on the phone before and we've discussed stuff. And I've always said to you, all the information I've ever shared, which I spoke to you about, is life experience.
Yeah.
And that's why when I'm mentoring or helping people, it's because I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them. And I think that's the same with yourself. And I think it's from the same ilk, where someone say to you, look, I'm feeling shit. I've suffered from, I'm feeling down, or this is going wrong. You and me and other people as well can go, I've been in that situation.
Yep.
I know what to do. This is what you do. And from there, they come out of it. Because it's easier looking into a situation than being in a situation and looking out. And you will only really learn or help someone if you've been in that situation and knowing that there's a result at the end of it.
Of course.
Life teaches.
Yeah. And the thing about it is what worked for me or you may not work for them.
No.
Because we're all different. And you know yourself, you can go down, try it this way, try it that way. And when people join me, I'd say, especially in my network marketing business, there's lots of different ways to do this and do that. And I'd say, do you know what? When you're new, try it all. I did. And I just knew straight away, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's not for me. Try everything and then make up your decision.
But as you go on, it's like the best bit. One of the business advice that I my sister gave me, and it's great advice, is make a decision.
Yes.
Not making a decision
Yes.
is the wrong decision. Make a decision. It might be then the wrong decision, but you're making that and it'll work on it.
Definitely.
Video, live stream.
Love them.
You're doing a lot of it. You have been doing a lot of it, pushing it. Do you sometimes, has it just come part of you now, or do you sometimes kind of go, oh, I have to get on here and put on the smile face and pretend, or do you just
don't do pretend.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my thing is. It's all about the story.
It is all about story.
It is all about the story. Nobody gives a hoot about the how-to. It's give us a story, then remember you by your story. So when I engage, like I've just got a challenge coming up. I'm going to find out later what that is. And I don't know what it is. Last month I had a get shorty one. You had to do a video in 20 seconds and get a message across there. And that was challenging. I love a challenge. So on days like that, it can be, I have to put something up. But because there's a criteria there, you're not going on doing Billy bullshit.
No, you set a plan.
There's a plan there, and it's for a purpose. Like it makes me then. I did my first voiceover on a 20-second video because I had no face on or nothing. I said I can't go on video and I have to do it. And today's day 39. I'm not missing the day. So I had a little clip that I had shot in the summer, and I was able to do a voiceover. So challenging yourself, or have somebody challenge you, it's really good for pushing you and teaching you new things, and you get resilient. Then you have to dig in and find a way to get that video out there.
Yeah, it's when I remember when I started doing video first, I would do a 2-minute video. It would take me 50 takes and take me all day.
Live, you don't have that option.
now, but now I it's one take. Like I did a video on LinkedIn. It was a half-hour webinar on email marketing, and I did it in 4 minutes because I don't have time myself to watch 30 minutes. So I said, right, I'm just going to do this video for people that have 4 minutes and it will explain everything. And then they go, oh, now we need to.
But there's power in it, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I do love it. Like my thing is speaking. And I do the radio show, the podcast, and I do the video. And that's it. I don't write blogs anymore. I don't do infographics anymore because that's what I'm good at. And that's what I strength on it. Yeah. So 2019... You're doing the speaking, you're doing the events, you're looking. Where do you want to be in 12 months down the road?
12 months down the road. I'm doing business coaching, so I've started to offer that as a service. And I was just last week we were speaking actually, and I was writing stuff down, and I was doing out the strategy and getting clear on what I want and all that la stuff. Ian came home. I was 2 hours. I had the whiteboard up and I had it all there. I was like, oh, Ian, have it. And he says, Amanda, look at your face. I said, what do you mean? He says, tell your face you have it, because when you light up when you have it. And he goes, you don't have it. And he said something to me, and he says, Amanda, you love coaching and you love teaching. So why don't you set up a coaching group rather than loads of those other groups?
That's the ones we were talking about.
Yes.
I said to you, look, you'll kill yourself.
He heard you on the phone. He heard you saying that on the phone. Don't regret it down the road or something. Think about it. So he came on and I was like, all the numbers and the figures and all this is way. And he's like, you never told your face that, Mandy. You're dead. He says, that's not where you're at. Yeah. And he says, but Mandy, you love teaching. He says, why wouldn't you do that in teaching? I was like, oh my God, I could be, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, because it would have killed you.
It would have. And you were right.
Yeah, you would have been driven mad.
And
you would have been unhappy.
What did you say a few minutes ago?
What is the thing?
When you sit back and you allow things to happen and you don't force them.
Serendipity.
Yes. What was I doing? I was sitting going, do. Trying to plan it.
Yeah, and the thing as well, what you need to do is have everything is congruent right across all different platforms, so everything is reading through, and that's the pinnacle. And I say to people, look, you have an idea. That idea, then you turn that into a product or a service, and you roll with it, and that's how your business will. So back to the question: 12 months down the road, what do you see
doing a lot more
doing?
Teaching and coaching, possibly into groups. I like the idea of having 4 or 5 people and me coaching.
And this is why I believe coaching and training will be yours, because if you look at it, you're a fitness trainer. Yeah, you were training people.
I still am.
You still are. Okay. You then got into the salon, and then you got into the training of that, teaching in them. Then you've set up all these groups, and you have people coming in, and we're doing workshops, teaching. So I think that there is yours is teaching. Not maybe, and it's the group teaching, and then it'll grow into the events where you'll be running large events on it then as well.
Yeah, but definitely the teacher in me, that just lights me up.
Yeah, and I can see that in your face now. So, audience, if you can see it,
So
it's like turn the lights off in here. They're lighting up. They're lighting up on it.
I know, it was thanks to you. We had a good few calls and we bashed out a few ideas and you gave me a few little nuggets that kind of...
Give everyone nuggets.
Yeah, they just stuck there and they were in the back of the mind and, you know, but it was Ian overhearing that conversation.
It's like I was working with some clients and I'm creating some ideas for them for their products. And at 2:00 in the morning, I went to bed with the intention, right, let me think of something for one of the clients. And I thought about their business and I says, right, I'm going to just have a sleep on this. 5 minutes later, the mind relaxed. It came up. I jumped up, WhatsApped them.
That's me.
Right, with it. And they go, are you still up? I was in bed. I says, you still up? Why aren't you in bed? I says, oh, I'm going to bed now. And I gave them the name of their business and their product on
Isn't
it.
it amazing?
Yeah.
I work like that now. I remember one of the girls saying to me, oh man, I want you to help me with... I wanted to not pitch, she was going in to do it. She already has the supplier. The job is hers. But she wanted to go in and make sure that everybody in there understood what she did. I said, you want me to help you? She goes, you're the woman for the job? I said, all right. And, you know, trust out a few ideas and blah, blah, blah. And we hung up the phone and I went, I got it. I've got it. I had her air straight back like it. I was like, oh my God. And she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. But like that, when somebody hands me and says, can you do... Oh, my brain just goes.
Tell me, we're coming to the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And I ask all my guests 3 questions, as you know. And the first one I want to ask you is, what's the best business advice that you've ever received?
Business equals profit.
Okay.
For someone like me who jumps into things without much planning, it can end up like an expensive hobby. So make sure that you're looking at the profit side of your business as well as loving it.
Yeah.
Okay. So would be...
Just need the one.
Okay, there you go.
That's it. What book would you recommend for people to read?
John DeMartini, Value Factors.
Good book.
Yeah.
Good book. I read it there a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you know, I interviewed him.
Yes.
I read the book after I interviewed him and really got it, yeah.
I didn't learn that till very recently, probably 12 months. And when you know your values and they run through you, it's incredible.
Your values are important.
They're
and
hugely
it's what
important.
Your values steer the ship.
And you said since you've met me, I think I've really got strong and know and respect my values, and I put boundaries in place around them, and that's the difference in April and now.
Yeah, it is, and you'll write out your values and you'll see your values, and you'll live by those values, and they start to come part of you. Now, a year down the road, those values might be something different.
Absolutely.
But at that time, they are what they are, and you come part of them. And that's how you develop as a person.
But it's funny because it wasn't until I read that book that I really understood the power of them.
Yeah,
power of them.
There's a lot. A lot goes on in our heads. What song would you like us to play out with?
Evelyn McAleer sent me this song, and I bawled. And this is my favorite, one of my favorite songs now, called "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. Is that her second name?
Do you know where can people find you?
Facebook, LinkedIn. Email, phone. No, I think
what's
social
your web
media.
Address?
The web address is wecan_wewill.com.
Okay. Amanda Delaney, thanks for coming on the show and talking to me today.
Thank you.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory.
Over the years, I've had the pleasure to interview hundreds of people on my business shows, Breakthrough Brands and Business Eye. In doing so, I've put together my top 10 tips that I've picked up from my guests along the way. To discover what these are and how they may benefit you in your business, please click on the link below or go to joedalton.ie/discover.